That's just what I say. I said, babe, he said it's them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all think so, don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He make sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? When I look at my snaps, I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, he said it's them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all think so, don't be talking sideways.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Carry, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
We're set now on second down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's Hines, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
We're set from the gun on third. eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Quincy Wilson in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Leopard! We got three.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and sneak it here. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jacoby Brissett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off around the 41.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Brissett on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
Brissett to throw on first. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Everson Griffin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Brissett. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work up.
And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the 1st down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
They'll try to run with Hines, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Nyheim Hines hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not.
He's got a man complete. And give him a gain of 37. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the tackle, Kamoko Toure.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Brissett sets to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
Detroit!
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep to return is Cyrus Jones. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Flex round.
This is Hines. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They run with Hines. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Detroit!
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Leopard! Watch it now, Barney!
10th carry of the game now. Murray. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Back to throw now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 19. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So we've come upon halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A handoff. It's Murray. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Brissett. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Eric Kendricks coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? for the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. A second down throw for Brissett. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Brissett now. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And thanks to the interception, the Colts offense cashes in with 6. Gold with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Detroit! Detroit! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Again, it's Murray. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Brissett. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way,
and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of it.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Here's Hines on a toss play. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Now back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Colts on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll run it here. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Ohio! Come on, let's go! What? 90!
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this might wind up being a tough